One of the things I often hear from professionals is, I don't like meetings. Or if it is that they don't like meetings, they say, I never know what to say in the meeting. So when my manager asks me, what's your contribution? Usually, nothing from my side. And that can become tiring because not only do you feel, I'm just in this meeting for an hour to waste time, but you end up feeling like, why do we even go to these meetings? And all of this is because you are not preparing. Let's talk about how to prepare for a meeting and show up effectively so that you leave those meetings feeling like, now this was worth my time. Let's begin at the beginning. So it's Sunday evening, you're getting ready for work. I'm hoping you're choosing your outfit and you're thinking about the week. But in that moment, that is the opportune time to go into your calendar. What does my calendar look like for this week? What meetings have I accepted that are in my diary? And why am I invited? That is where the preparation begins. It starts with thinking about the meeting. Why are you invited? And how can you participate in that meeting? We can't avoid meetings, whether we work technical staff or we are just admin. Meetings are a part of a way in which an organization ensures we are, first of all on the same track and we are all bringing and highlighting our issues so that we can solve. So start off with preparing for the week, looking at what meetings come up, and then from there, taking the step to think about your contribution. Now, let's talk about what is a contribution in a meeting. I think sometimes we overthink it, that I need to sound smart, I need to sound impressive. But contributions are usually just sharing insights based on what you've experienced. As you do your work, you should be taking note of certain trends, you should be taking notes of certain anomalies, and all of these end up becoming insights, contributions that can be used in a meeting setting to contribute and add value. But more than that, being present in the meeting is where it begins. Yeah, I'm talking to you too, you Teams attendees that are sitting on Teams while you're watching Netflix in the background. You have to be present. You can't contribute to a conversation you're not present in. And when you are joining a meeting virtually, I'll say switch on your camera. It forces you to be present, nodding, making notes, and looking professional. And if you are in person, that same attitude will showcase in you listening while others are speaking, making notes, and then imagining the things that you've experienced related to what someone else has just spoken about. And that's where contribution begins. It begins by saying, I hear that you're saying that we should stop calling clients directly. But what I've experienced is when I do call my clients directly, we get the message across the line quicker. We're able to understand each other better because the back and forth on email can sometimes create confusion. So you see how you contribute based on being present and listening to what the person is saying. Another thing you can prepare for your meetings would be thinking about what questions could I ask? So going in with a curious mindset. Every meeting is not there for you to leave with what you told them to do, but there are times when the meeting is there for you to leave with new information, things that will help you to do your job better. There are certain elements that you're not understanding. Why is marketing doing this campaign this month? That's a great opportunity to ask. And you might be thinking, oh no, that's a stupid question. I'm scared if I ask, I'm going to look like I don't pay attention. Just finding out that the rest of the organization didn't know. But you're the bravest person that's able to ask the question that everyone's asking themselves about this campaign that marketing is running. So think about the area in which you feel, I always sit with these stakeholders at the table, but there's certain elements of their work that I don't understand. because they wouldn't have invited you into that room if what you do doesn't impact them or if their work doesn't impact you. So go into that conversation curious, go into that conversation to learn. The better you understand the business, the better your business acumen becomes, and the better you're able to contribute as a leader. A third thing that you can think about when it comes to contributing in meetings is asking yourself this. Now that we've sat in this meeting, what's the biggest takeaway? What's the action item? When is it expected to be done? So many times people communicate in meetings, all right, we are going to start this project, we are going to do this, but we leave there with unclear expectations. When should this project be completed? How should it be completed? So leave there with clarity as to what is the expectation. Don't leave there with vagueness and start corridor chat saying, yeah, I don't know, we need to do this thing, but we don't even know it. Why didn't you ask? So leave there with clarity as to what's the quality that's expected, when is it expected, and who should I send it to? Now you don't just end off meeting saying, oh, thank you, manager. You end off meeting saying, so if I understand you clearly, you're saying we should be sending you the white paper by next week, Tuesday. Do you need it end of business or is there a certain time you need it? Oh, by 10 o'clock. Now that changes things, right? So leave there with the key details that you need for you to be able to ensure that you're taking the right actions. Remember, when it comes to communication, people assume that when they've spoken, everyone has understood. But it's up to you to ensure you leave with understanding by asking the relevant questions to make the work that you need to do easier. At the end of the day, when we sit around that boardroom table, we're all just there to solve problems. And the best problem solvers are the people that contribute, that are curious, and that know what's expected of them. So let's do a quick recap. First of all, Sunday night. Don't just fix your outfit, fix your communication. What are you getting yourself into? What's happening in your calendar? Where do you need to be and why? Decline some meetings. Just saying. And then the next thing you could do is ensure that you think about how you can contribute. But you can't think about how to contribute when you are busy on WhatsApp during the meeting. So ensure that you're present in the conversation. Because when you're present, that's when your brain starts sending signals that, how about that idea? Don't forget to mention this. Be present in the meeting. And then the next thing you can do is to ensure you come with curiosity. So great, you're good at what you do, but do you understand what they do and why it matters? And if you don't, figure out, ask the question. And then the last thing is leave that room knowing what's expected. What's the timeline? How should it be done? By when should it be done? Don't leave it for corridor chats after the meeting. That's why the meeting was in the calendar in the first place. I know. Now you love meetings. I know. Right. If you want to take this conversation further, I'm going to invite you to a webinar called Speak to Get Promoted. And in that webinar, I'm going to showcase to you what it is that you can do to elevate, to get promoted, and to get the next role that you know you deserve. Until I see you again, remain unforgettable.